This is going to be a video for people who have spent some time doing self-inquiry, meditation, maybe had some mushroom experiences, some expanding experiences, and then you find yourself asking the question one day, am I going crazy? Is this real? Or am I just kidding myself? So this is one of those things that seems to happen at some point along the journey, or happens many times, where you just find yourself uh, doubting what you're going through, doubting um, teachers, doubting the experiences and convictions you had, feeling very forgetful, um, experiencing lots of resistance inside. Um, and I just want to say that this is just part of the course. It's normal. It's okay. It doesn't mean anything about you. It's not your fault. It's one of those things that perhaps certain teachers have done a poor job in creating a framework around. Because sometimes some teachers make it sound like, oh, waking up is easy, and if it's hard, you're doing something to make it hard. Um, Another kind of viewpoint that sometimes happens is like, well, if you're in line with your higher self in your soul, things will flow naturally and openly and lovingly. And if you're not, well, then you're making the wrong choices, or you're not quite as awake as you think you are, and you're doing something um, to put yourself out of alignment with your higher self. So it puts this onus of blame on you. It's very easy to be like, oh, what am I doing? Well, there's disturbance in my experience, and so now there must be something I have to fix. And then you go on this goose chase inside of yourself, or you go on some sort of like, God damn it, I always do this to myself, or yeah, some sort of blame. And it's really not that way. Just relax. Um, it's so easy to do this to yourself. I've done it hundreds of times in the last 15, 20 years. And I did it just because of everything I just mentioned. Um, See, the truth is, there's going to be resistance, most likely, to this process. It's kind of one way I like to phrase it is like, imagine you took an animal and you threw it in a new environment. Most likely the animal is going to be a little freaked out for a while until it gets acquainted with what's going on. It's going to walk around with some anxiety, precaution, fear. It's going to sniff around, make sure things are safe. This is what is happening in you when you really start to meditate. You really start to like look at what the truth is, because it can be quite jarring to go from like, oh, I'm this really separate entity body thing, linearity and like space time, and then suddenly like those things start to like shift and maybe dissolve a little bit or completely. It's gonna create like a oh my god, shock, system shock. Am I going crazy? If I talk to somebody like a doctor, they think I'm crazy. A psychologist, I think I'm crazy. So it's really easy to get this crazy reflection, um, and it's really easy to get this feeling of anxiety. But like I'm trying to show you, like it's to be expected. It's normal-ish. Some people have it easier, some people have it harder, so to say. Um, and that it's okay that it's happening. Just continue with your process. Um, and some days you may need to back off. Um, some days you just realize it's just getting to a point where it's just too much. You cannot handle it anymore. Just take a few days off. Take a week. Take a month. Take a few weeks. Take a month and a half. I don't know. Each person's unique. But then come back to this pursuit if it's really something you're passionate about. But don't come back to it because you have to. And don't leave because you think you're crazy or someone's telling you you're crazy. sh- shifting these elements of yourself when you do mushrooms, self inquiry, meditation is going to create that imbalance sometimes, or what feels like an imbalance. It's just a gradual change. It's just a natural protective response that you're going to go through. Um, I think there was something else I wanted to say. Oh yeah, so yeah, when you start to experience this inner kind of like freak out, resistance, um, but it's okay at first, or it's not okay to you, but telling yourself it's okay can help calm you sometimes. Sometimes, um, just letting yourself know, okay, it's a normal process. Maybe sometimes there's doubt and like fighting in your head. Just try and say to yourself, oh, okay, there's fighting in the head right now. It's normal. It's okay. Um, and sometimes it won't be okay. Like it'll feel too overwhelming, and that's okay. Like just try and relax. Um, give yourself some positive encouragement instead of like maybe blaming yourself for like this process happening to you. Uh, maybe take some breaths. Maybe go for a walk. Maybe have a cigarette, or not if you're a smoker that's trying to quit, but just something to relax, because this this spiritual um, path towards self discovery can be like working out, and like if you're working out a lot, um, and you feel sore, it's just very natural to need to rest. And I'm a believer in that same kind of approach within spiritual work. Like you sometimes reach a point where you're sore. There's too much resistance and fighting and like confusion. So it's like, okay, I gotta just back off for a few days. Just go back to doing things that I would normally do that I like. Even if I think in my mind, uh, I shouldn't. Like, oh, like gaming is bad, masturbation is bad, God forbid sex is bad. Like, go back and enjoy some of those things for a little while, and then come back to the self inquiry, the meditation, or if you're doing mushrooms and doing it for self development purposes, maybe do that if that's your thing. Um, yeah, that was pretty much the gist of what I wanted to share. I know there's some of you out there who are confused about this whole process and get scared of the anxiety and get scared of feeling crazy and get scared of the resistance that happens inside. All right, so hope that serves you well, and I hope you take care. Bye.